right, Joe Biden's lawfare attacks on President Trump are falling apart. And anyway, hadn't moved the needle at all. That's what it appears. Joining me now to chew on this, Rich Lowry, editor-in-chief of National Review, Monica Crowley, host of the Monica Crowley podcast, former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury. Welcome. Rich, go to you first. You're my political guru once and forever. I was reading Doug.
Aim higher in your guru.
Not a chance. All these years. Doug Schoen, Democratic pollster, friend of ours, awful good guy, was in a newspaper saying he was following one of the polls. I think the CNN poll, but I don't care. Basically, he's saying the last 4, 5, 6 weeks with the trials and all the rest of the lawfare, the needle has not moved. This whole lawfare attack on Trump has not done what the Bidens hoped and prayed it would do. And with your keen political eye, I just wondered what you're thinking about this.
Yeah, so that doesn't make it any less outrageous that they're still locking him in a room in New York City 4 days a week. But look, I think the fundamental dynamic of the race is that Trump is strong on the core issues. Who did a good job as president, right? Trump is above 50%, Biden's way below 50%. Who do you trust on the most important issues? Trump's way ahead on almost all of them, Biden. Then you have peripherals, right? Those are the things that people care about, the core stuff. Then you have peripherals. He's been indicted 94 times. He has this trial, messy trial in New York City, all the rest of it. And Biden has to hope he can make people care more about the peripherals. But I think it's going to be a hard case to make.
Or to put it another way, Trump has stayed on message even during, for example, the crazy New York trial. He manages to stay on message, not only talking about the economy and inflation. He gave a brilliant speech in Waukesha, Wisconsin last week when he had the day off from court, but also going out to Harlem for the bodegas, talking to the construction workers, talking to the firefighters. I mean, that's pretty good messaging, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, and he's definitely maximizing his time being chained to New York City with this ridiculous Stalin-esque show trial. So he is maximizing his time spent here. Look, I love Doug, and he's a good friend, but I would disagree that all this lawfare is not moving the needle. It's actually moving the needle toward Donald Trump. So it's actually strengthening him, because even people who didn't vote for him or may not like his style are saying, wait a minute, what is happening to him is not right. We don't agree with this. This is tearing at the very basic foundation and fabric of America. And to Rich's point, I think it's absolutely true. There are two main pillars to this election: the cost of living crisis and the quality of life crisis. So you've got the economic side with inflation and the basic collapse of so many economic pillars. And then you've got the quality of life issue. So you've got the wide open border, you've got cities in collapse, you've got spiking crime. On both of those main pillars, Trump has a 4-year-long record where he can go to the American people and say, I delivered a booming economy, I delivered an enforced border, law and order, and world peace.
So
I will do it again.
I don't want to front run our later segment, but really, Biden thinks he can spend $1.6 trillion. Now, this is a story. Some people say it's $1 trillion, $1.2 trillion. Politico says $1.6 trillion, whatever, including state and local money that would waive requirements and so forth and so on. Now, that is old-time Democratic religion, going way back to FDR. Spending. The only guy who really didn't do that was Bill Clinton, if you think about it, at least in his second term. Now, my question to you is Biden making a huge mistake? This story is getting out and circulating. The inflation rate is already up 20%. It calmed down for a few months. Now it's come back, and he wants to spend $1.5 trillion. Do you think that's what people want? If you polled people and you said, do you think $1.5 trillion of new spending in the next 6 months is a great idea, what would they say?
Right. You know, it's a lot of money when they don't know exactly how much it is, right? No one can even determine how much money this is. But look, who's against bridges, right? But is that what you vote for the president of the United States for? You know, maybe you're governor, and they need to shove as much much of this money out the door, in part because they're looking at the Trump train coming down the track, and this will be, if it's not spent already, it'll be clawed back, hopefully, with the Republican Congress. But he needs to deal with what Monica points to, and you point to all the time, inflation. That has fundamentally undermined his presidency, his standing on the economy, and people feel it all the time. But there's nothing he can do, given his ideological predilections, to deal with that. So instead of no, look, we're dropping money from a helicopter.
See, I think Trump will make the case that all these attempts for massive spending. By the way, it's not easy to spend $1.5 trillion in 6 months. Okay, the best minds in America could be put to work, but they're not in the White House.
I could spend that on shoes, Larry. I'm just saying.
I could spend that, and I've had several terms in those agencies. But the point I'm making is, people will rebel at it. This is what Biden's missing, because it will cause more inflation. They know that.
Yeah.
Here, Biden has a problem. He thinks Americans are dumb. I think, and wait, more importantly, Trump thinks Americans are smarter than you think. They see inflation. That's all. It'll damage Biden. It's a huge mistake.
Huge mistake. And also because we have the benefit of back-to-back presidencies here, where Donald Trump delivered, and you were a key part of that team, delivered a Goldilocks economy, where you had robust economic growth, unemployment at or near historic lows for every demographic group, and little to no inflation. So you don't have to go back to the Reagan era to remember a booming economy. You just have to remember pre-pandemic 3 years ago, 4 years ago. People want that back, and they make the association with Joe Biden, Democrats controlling Congress in the first 2 years of presidency, pushing out, along with the Fed, $8 to $9 trillion into the economy. They associate that with higher prices at the grocery store and elsewhere.
Look, they're being pulled by Bernie Sanders. Okay, we'll just get this in before we break. Bernie Sanders is now running economic, domestic, and foreign policy, for that matter. I mean, that's really
or Columbia University.
Extraordinary
combination of them.
But I mean, FDR, spend and spend, tax and tax, win and win elections, okay? This is not the 1930s. Biden is operating on a model that's like 75, 85 years old. Didn't work then, by the way, but putting that aside, politically, that model has not worked.
Yeah, well, and also what you say about Bernie.
He's falling into that trap.
What you say about Bernie, people feel that, right? He's not stood up to the left on anything. He's not demonstrated any strength. So this is another key metric for a president. People view him as weak and view Trump as strong. And that's hard to overcome.
It's right. If you're not, it's bad enough you're caving in to Hamas. If you're caving in to Bernie Sanders also, it really, no, I think that's a very important point. I mean, I think you have Biden weak, Trump tough. Yeah. I think that's really a big sub-theme in this election.
Look, Bernie Sanders as a socialist, that's where all the energy is on the Democrat side.
I just love that.
Why Biden is
Bernie Sanders is the tail that's wagging the dog, but I think Bernie Sanders is the tail and the dog right now. Rich Lowry, thank you. Monica Crowley, appreciate it very much.